sweet. Such a big responsibility. There's also a period in every father's life where they don't listen, where they won't, where they're testing you. When he was little, I taught my younger son how to tie his shoes. The bunny ears method is easier than the loop around the imaginary tree. And I remember he finally got it. He was so proud. He beamed from ear to ear. He laughed. He had listened to me. I had guided him well. Now I'm sending that same kid to the front. Showing up as we're told, signing up for duty, binding ourselves to what we can do to keep a family safe, a home protected, so the legacy lives on. It's a test. It's a challenge. It's been that way for generations. And what can you do but say, Hineni? I'm here. But what if he doesn't want to go? What if he refuses to come with me? I'm not sure I would go if I were him. I've got my father's voice in my head, my father's voice, his father saying, buck up, kid. You do what has to be done. Who are you to refuse? Then I've got his mom's voice saying, are you nuts? And I've got this feeling in my gut that everything's different now and nothing is the same. And when you're the one saying yes all the time, people assume that you thought it through, like you're sure what you're saying yes to, but I'm not sure anymore. And I don't know who I'm supposed to listen to then. Hineni. Hineni. Am I really here? Is this really where we are? Taking my kid to the front. Will he listen to me? Should he? What do I do?
You're not alone, Abe. Hineni, I'm here too.
Welcome to Storahtelling, everybody. Hi, Shana Tova. Good morning. Are you hearing me on this microphone? Yes. Great. My name is Ben Freeman. I'm on the Lab Show Ritual team. I'm often in this very ritual circle right here, but today I have the honor and privilege of guiding us through a story that will take us out of this time and space and into a mythic one. So today we've got a story about a father whose name is Abraham, who is wrestling with what must feel like an impossible choice. And if you know the story, you know that the choice is a really painful one, and the story we're about to hear is a really painful story, and if you've never heard it before, well, Mazel Tov, here you go. I hope none of us have to deal with a choice that painful, and yet I hope you can relate to wrestling with many voices inside you, telling you different ways to go. So Abraham, we're going to pick up with your story in just a little bit, but you can take a moment off stage. We also have the incredible Zhenya Lopatnik with us, creating some live sand midrash, the space between the words. And we're doing this thing called Storahtelling. So anyone here ever been to a Torah service before? Yes? Anyone, and you can answer this honestly, anyone ever been bored in a Torah service because they didn't know what was going on? Okay, me too. Well, it's not going to happen today. It used to be the norm until about 1,000 years ago that any synagogue you went to anywhere in the world, whenever the Torah was chanted from in public, someone was live translating it into the language and into the cultural idiom of the day. And we are reviving that tradition right here, right now, presenting an original translation of a section of this story that we wrote. So in just a moment, the sacred scroll will roll, and this stage will become Mount Sinai, the place where it all began. So I want to invite you to take a deep breath. Sit up in your seat a little bit, fasten your seatbelts, and tune in to this week's installment of the world's bestseller, the longest running rerun of all. It's the Torah, everyone. Live from Sinai and live from Tribeca Performing Arts Center, we bring you Altar of Always, Parashat Vayera. So please rise in body or spirit, if you would, rise to your feet or just rise in your ribcage. To meet the star of the show, the Book of Life is coming out, and in order to help us open the ark, we'd like to invite up members of past cohorts of Generate, our rite of passage program for folks contemplating what it means to become an elder. So if that is you, please come up to help open the ark. We also specifically want to shout out Cohort 4 of Generate. You'll see a screenshot, since we met primarily online, of those folks. They are with us in spirit as we open the ark.
Thank you to our Generate, our elders, our leaders for helping us create this chapter in our becoming. May you open many portals into mystery together. Thank you for sending to the mountain. We invite you to descend with grace, and may we open many doors together. All the rest of us are invited to sit down at the foot of the mountain. What's happening next?
Thank you, Amichai. So we are going to call up our first aliyah. Our first aliyah is our first moment of rising to meet this story. And first I want to welcome to the bima Penina Bidi, who, among many other incredible accomplishments, is a new B-mitzvah trainer here with us at Lab Shul. And I'm so grateful, Penina, that you will be chanting us through this story today. So thank you for being here. And at Lab Shul, we have a tradition when doing an aliyah of offering a kavanah, an intention for what this aliyah is really about. So this first aliyah, connecting to the character we just met, who's wrestling with a big choice, this aliyah is honoring anyone here that feels that they too are at a moment of a test, a crisis, a challenge where you are making a big moral decision and you're trying to figure out what to do. Consider whether that feels like you. And for this aliyah, what we will do is, if that does feel like you, I'm going to invite you to rise in your seat to be honored, as we have a special honoree right up here on the bima. Of course, all of us really these days are in this moment of moral crisis. And I'm delighted to say that Amichai will rise to this blessing on behalf of all of us. Yeah. So I'm going to call you up, Amichai. And again, if it feels like this is your aliyah too, please just rise in your seat. Those of you that are at home, perhaps you'll rise as well. Ya'amod Harav Amichai Yehuda ben Naftali v'Hana Aliyah leTorah, for the honor of blessing the reading of the Torah. And those of you that are rising in the seat, this blessing is for you too.
ברכו את הוויה המבורך. ברוך הוויה המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה הוויה אלוהינו רוח העולם, אשר בחר בנו עם כל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה הוויה נותן התורה.
Amen. So let's meet up again with Abraham, this father who's been charged with taking his kid to the front, who is struggling to know what to do, wrestling with many voices inside him, trying to figure out the ways and maybe which each one might hold a piece of the truth.
Your first one. Go.
Amen. Vayhi achar hadvarim ha'ele והאלוהים נישא את אברהם ויאמר אליו אברהם ויאמר הנני.
After all this call came, it said,
Abraham, Abraham, calling Abraham.
it's that voice inside me again, the one saying, this is how it's done, who are you to refuse? And I'm wondering, test?
You don't question, you show up.
Okay, I get it, a test, but
Abraham,
okay, it's me, reporting for duty. I'm here. I'm Abraham, the father, Hineni.
ויאמר כך נא את בנך את יחידך אשר אהבת את יצחק ולך לך אל ארץ המוריה והעלהו שם לעולה על אחד ההרים אשר אומר אליך.
I'm supposed to take my son.
you have two sons.
Sons.
The one you love,
I love them both.
the youngest one, take Isaac.
Abraham, no.
Who is that?
Everyone has to make sacrifices. Don't think you're special. You know what to do.
Where am I taking him?
The mountain.
Which one?
Not that mountain.
Who are you?
I'm the part of you that tells you what's expected.
No. You, I know. The other voice. I mean, who are you? Who are you?
I'm the mother.
The mother. Who's mother?
Are you hungry?
What?
Don't listen to her, Abe.
Abe, don't go.
What choice do I have? This is how it's always done.
וישכם אברהם בבוקר ויחבוש את חמורו ויקח את שני נעריו איתו ואת יצחק בנו ובקע עצי עולה ויקם וילך אל המקום אשר אמר לו האלוהים.
So, I get up early. I wake the boys, quick but quiet. We get the supplies ready. The ropes are packed. My son knows and doesn't know where we're going, what it means. We don't talk about it.
Why don't you talk about it?
Everyone has to make sacrifices.
Why?
Sorry, who are you? You're the mother?
Look, I'm going to square with you, Abe. I didn't know you could hear me. Most people can't, or they don't. But if you can, I don't want to miss my chance. I have something for you. An offering.
You know what to do.
Don't do anything. I'm heading out. Wait for me. Go. I'll meet you there.
ביום השלישי ויישא אברהם את עיניו וירא את המקום מרחוק.
And we walk silently like men do. What's there to say? This is what I've been called to. This is what the inner voice says, but am I making the right choice? His mom couldn't look at the uniform. I have her voice in my ears. It's wrestling with the others. She's screaming. And which voice is really mine? The one telling me to talk about it or the one telling me to go? I don't know what to do. Help me. Please help me.
I'm on my way.
3 days in silence.
I see smoke coming from the top. Smell it first. Fear. Awe. This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the place. The place where one man killed another.
Which man? Me?
Where you do the hard thing that has to be done.
Where it still happened. Don't do it, Abe.
3 days wrestling with all this inside me.
And then Abraham looks up.
Abraham looks up.
I look up and I see...
Me.
What?
You see me.
Oh, you're not... I thought I was hearing his mother.
I'm not his mother, Abe. I'm everybody's mother. Yours too. Yours too. Mother of all living. Mother of all dead.
Aren't you a little young for that?
Aren't you a little old to be doing exactly what you're told? Disobedience is ageless, babe. That's what I'm the mother of. I'm Eve.
Eve.
Yeah, like Adam and. Heard of me? I'm like kind of a big deal. Here, have an apple.
No, thanks.
Wow. Well, this must be a powerful place indeed if Eve traveled all the way across time and space. I don't even know how you get there, how you do it. But you traveled all the way here to intercept Abraham on his way to this place. There must be a little bit more to this story that we haven't heard yet. So what I think we should do is we should close this first aliyah, this first reading of the Torah, and then get underneath the layers to see what else is going on here. So those of you that rose for this first blessing, please rise one more time, if you would, and we'll chant this closing blessing to honor your challenge, your test that you're in the midst of as you discern what is the right thing to do. And Amichai will lead us in this blessing.
ברוך אתה הוויה אלוהינו רוח העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו ברוך אתה הוויה נותן התורה.
Amen.
What is this place? Why are you here? What's going on? I'm so confused.
This is no ordinary place. This mountain, it's the same place where my first son killed his brother. The first murder. Cain didn't know what killing meant. He was just jealous. He wanted to be loved. And he wasn't loved. He wasn't favored. Not in the same degree as his brother. What kind of creator plays favorites like that? And it's still going on. This same mountain, this same place, killing after killing after killing. It's the birthplace of violence.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me this place where I was told to show up to do my duty, this is where Cain killed Abel. That's the front. I don't know how to make sense of what you're telling me and what this other voice is telling me. I don't know which voice to listen to.
This is the place where we were not each other's keepers, Abraham. You really want more of that? Go home.
But I put my trust in this. If I'm not following it, I don't know who I am anymore.
It's not only about you. You want to keep making the same sacrifices over and over again? Why? Look, I had the same problem as you. One voice telling me to stay good, to live inside the lines. Another voice that tried to trick me, but that taught me how to be in the real presence of life. And the part everybody gets wrong about my story is they forget I had my own voice too. I listened. I weighed the options. I didn't choose lightly. I risked perfection for the chance to know the difference between good and evil. That was my sacrifice. And in all my years of exile, I never regretted it. But I did regret that it led to hatred, that it keeps leading here. I came here, and I am telling you, time travel is not for the weak. Because my own voice told me it's time to try to get the message through again. And because you asked for my help. We can fix this, Abraham. You don't have to offer the kid on the altar of always. You can be a conscientious objector to the voices within you. Disobey. Just say no. And say yes to your son.
Say no, say yes, obey, disobey. Anyone here had the experience of wrestling with different voices in you telling you to do exactly the opposite thing? And I wonder if anyone here has felt that this past year, these past 2 years, these past several years, it feels like there are more competing claims on your conscience than ever before. More loyalties that you're struggling to figure out how to listen to inside yourself. Okay. So it turns out, Abraham, you're not alone. There's a room full of people that have struggled to make a choice because they're listening to so many different things inside themselves. You're not alone in having to figure out how to make a choice with so many different voices inside yourself. So I wonder if the two of you might take a seat for a moment. And we said when we took out the Torah that we were opening our hearts to wisdom. I sense there's a lot of wisdom right here in this very room, and maybe that's what we want to open our hearts to. So here's what we're going to do. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to turn and talk, those of us that are here in the room, and those of us that are joining us from their homes online. Perhaps there's another person you're watching with that you can turn to. Perhaps you might turn to a page in your journal. Perhaps you might go to the chat function or another way, based on whichever streaming service we're using this time, to interact with others that are watching with you. I'm going to ask you to turn and talk, and what I'd like you to consider is there a specific moral conflict, one that you've really wrestled with sincerely, that feels real and vulnerable and safe enough to share with a stranger for about 5 minutes? So think, is there a specific moral conflict I've been wrestling with that I would be willing to share with someone I don't necessarily know? And I'd like to invite you to turn to someone or someones near you and just share and listen. You'll get an opportunity to name some of the different voices that have been competing inside you as you've been wrestling with that choice, and you'll get an opportunity to hear which voices are present for someone else. Sound okay? All right. So please, if you would, turn and talk to someone. You'll have about 5 minutes. Again, those of you online, talk to someone next to you, go to a journal, or go to the chat. We'll see you in 5. If you can, please come to a pausing place in your conversation. which might involve saying thank you to whoever you shared with. Thank you to whoever you witnessed. And of course, with questions as big and as soulful as these, 5 minutes is just an appetizer. But we hope that you may continue those conversations over lunch, if you join us at Tashlich, find that person again at Yom Kippur or before then, and keep going in with each other. At this moment, I want to direct our attention back to our father who's wrestling with a big and really awful choice. And I don't want to invite us to tell him what to do. My instinct is that many of us would say, probably shouldn't sacrifice your child. What I want to invite you to consider and shout out instead is, how might he decide what inside himself to listen to? So not what should he do, but how should he make the choice of which of these voices to listen to? What advice would you have to share with him? See a psychiatrist? Is that one? So get some help. Right. So don't make the choice alone. I had a supervisor once that said, never worry alone. If you're worried alone, it's not going to go to a good place. So seek some help. What else? Yes.
I have an aphorism that I think is very helpful for me. It's laugh and the world laughs with you, cry and you cry alone.
Laugh and the world laughs with you, cry and you cry alone. What about back here? Say again. AI. Okay, well that is one thing he could turn to. That is for sure another way of seeking out some help. Absolutely. Yeah, back there. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Okay? Yes, over here. You hear there's a Ram store on the way. Yes, there might be an alternative. You have to expand your consciousness of what it is that you might be looking for when you're on the way there. Absolutely. Let's get a few from the back. Yeah, over here. Ask yourself what choice leads to benevolence. Refocus on values. If I know that my value is benevolence, for instance, what choice leads me there? Beautiful. A few more? Yeah, up here. Engage your community, have conversations, like we just did in Microcosm right over here. Yep. Consider that your son trusts you. What about his voice? Yeah, so there's a relationship there that bears being more reciprocal. I think one more hand up here, possibly. Yes, back there. Whatever lets you sleep at night. So consider the future version of you looking back on this choice. Will you be able to rest with it? Let's have one last one here, and then I'm going to turn back to Abraham. Yep. If you weren't listening to this voice, what would you be feeling? Redirecting again back to the heart. I know there is much more wisdom here, although, Rabbi Klein, I will give you the last word. Now that I see that it's you. You heard wrong. Maybe it was a game of telephone and the message came through incorrectly. All incredibly important things to consider. Abe, I wonder, what do you think?
Thank you. I hear all your voices and I've made up my mind. Hineni.
I hope you made a new choice.
Let's see. Seems like a good tee up to bring up a second aliyah. For this second reading of Torah, we are inviting up all those of us that are celebrating something new. new vision, new direction, new marriage. We're going to invite up on behalf of all of those new folks, but also those of you in the room with us, if you'd like to ascend to the bima on this aliyah, please actually come up in body to the bima. But we'd like to invite up Ben Factor and Rebecca Rosen, who are getting married in just 3 weeks. Yamdu Pesach Binyamin ben David v'Shendel Rivka bat Leah v'Moshe David aliyah leTorah Hachatan v'Hakala. The bride and the groom are going to lead us in this blessing, but all those of you that are celebrating new visions, new direction, new relationships, new life, come on up.
Here I am here, here I am here, oh, here I am, hey, I am here, here I am here, oh, here I am here, here I am here, oh, here I am. Hineni, oh, here I am. Hineni, oh, here I am.
All right, we are so blessed to have such abundance of newness up here on this stage. Before we, and off stage. No. Yeah, come in as much as you can. And even if you haven't fully ascended, you've ascended spiritually. What I just want to say about what happens in between the last time we saw Abraham in this moment and now, we skipped a couple of verses, and I just want to let you know what's happened there. He's taken his son the last little bit up the mountain to that powerful and very painful place, and he's left the rest of the ones who came with him behind. It's just a moment for the two of them. And his son shows that he doesn't quite understand what's happening, but that he's scared. And his dad tells him to have faith. And what happens next, which we're about to chant and translate, is a very terrible moment. And there's no getting around that. And you're all here celebrating something new. And so I just want to offer as a kavanah, an intention for this opening blessing, that if we can withstand a moment that is terrible, on the other side of it, there might be something truly healing to rescue from the narrative. And so I just want to prep you that you're blessing a moment that at first is really painful and that hopefully leads us to healing. So, Rebecca and Ben, if you will, have we already touched the place where we're going to chant from? If not, is there a little corner of the tallis that we can touch? And you'll bring it to your lips. Kiss, and then lead us in this blessing. Baruch Havaya Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Havaya Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Im Kol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayishlach Avraham et yado vayikach et hama'achelet lishchot et beno.
And Abraham stretched out his hand, his weapon, to cut his child off from life.
ויקרא אליו מלאך אדוני מן השמיים ויאמר אברהם אברהם ויאמר הנני.
And I called him. I said, Abraham, Abraham, I come from the place of water and fire, the flaming sword at the entrance to Eden by the rivers from exile. I'm the messenger. I'm here to call you to presence. Abraham, Abraham, calling Abraham. And he said,
Hineni, I'm here. I'm Abraham.
And he was more here than
he had been before.
ויאמר אל תשלח ידך אל הנער ואל תעש לו מאומה כי אתה ידעתי כי ירא אלוהים אתה ולא חשכת את בנך את יחידך ממני.
I don't want to harm him.
So don't stretch out your hand. That hand can do so much more than kill.
I'm afraid.
Me too. I'm afraid we aren't learning from our mistakes. I'm afraid we are holding out on each other. I'm afraid we aren't seeing the whole picture. Favor both of them. Or if this is what it means to be favored, forget it. Don't do it, Abe, I said.
Don't do it, said the other voice.
Don't withhold yourself. Let him go.
And the other voice said, "You passed the test."
וישא אברהם את עיניו וירא והנה איל אחר נאחז בסבך בקרניו וילך אברהם ויקח את האיל ועלהו לעולה תחת בנו.
I looked up, and where I had been so stubborn, caught in a thicket of many calls telling me one thing or the other, I found a different kind of strength. The burden lifted away like smoke into the sky. I am here. I'm Abraham, but in a different place.
ויקרא אברהם שם המקום ההוא אדוני יראה אשר יאמר היום בהר אדוני יראה.
This is, as Eve told us, the birthplace of violence. And yet, somehow it is also a holy place, hamakom. How? It has to become a place that can birth redemption. It has to become a place that can birth healing. It has to be a place that can birth vision, moral imagination, the opportunity to see ourselves beyond where we are. Unless we can see this is the same place we have been, we cannot make new choices with integrity. So let's take a moment to see some new choices as they emerge. We have to be willing to see the threads of discord, despair, violence, blood that make this place where it is. We have to be willing to put ourselves in the picture, see ourselves in the story, not look at it as if it's happening to somebody else. Looking can be enough to start, but then we have to be willing to sacrifice something precious, like Eve did, to wake up to the real presence of life. Perhaps it can be as simple as taking a bite of a forbidden fruit to move from unconsciousness to a place of conscious choice. May each of us be courageous enough in this new year to risk comfort in order to look at good and evil more completely. And when the calls are coming in loud, may we not be stubborn. May we learn to listen deeply to our own voices and to voices of truth. So those of you that came up honoring newness, let's sweeten it with a closing blessing before we begin to wrap this storytelling.
Baruch atah Havaya Eloheinu Ruach Haolam Asher natan lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam nata betochenu Baruch atah Havaya Noten HaTorah Amen. Thank you for coming up, friends. Shana Tova. Let me take these back. Good beginnings.
Oh, I am here. 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 Oh, I am here.
As we begin to bring this storytelling to a close, some thanks are in order. Penina Beatty, thank you for holding us so steadily through really tricky verses. And I don't mean in terms of the trope, and I don't mean in terms of the Hebrew. I mean really tricky on the level of the Spirit. Thank you for being our steadying force. Eve, Abraham, Zoe, Bill, thank you for taking us on your journey today as you wrestled with how to know what voices to listen to in a moment of moral decision. Zhenya Lopatnik, we're going to bring you forward in a moment to give you a proper honor, but at this moment, let me just say thank you for loosening our rigid boundaries, as Shira taught us last night, through the art of sand painting that just changes and changes us in the process. As I said just a moment ago, maybe this year we all might be daring enough to take a bite from the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And lucky us, Eve and Abraham, Zoe and Bill, have some apples that they're going to take out to the space outside where you will see them on a patchwork talit, just like the one you saw holding all of these folks blessing newness out there, up here. And if you dare, you might take a sweet bite when you leave in just a little bit. So thank you both. Please take those apples to where they belong.
Delicious.
Shana Tova, everyone. And Rabbi Amichai is going to segue us into a blessing for healing.